Hey, blessed be everyone. Earthy Wise Woman here. And we are going to do our meditation. But first, I want to talk about something that's been, I don't know if you want to say pressed on my heart, but it's something that has come to me, maybe through my spirit guides would be a better word for it. Yeah. And it's mindfulness. What does it mean to be mindful? And for many of us, mindfulness means how we take care of ourselves, how we take care of our home, family, our environment. It actually spreads. But mindfulness initially always starts with just ourselves. We should be mindful, of course, of the food we eat, mindful of our water, mindful of some of our activities. Are they reckless? Are they productive? Will they help us? Will they hurt us? Things like that. Mindful, thinking, or considering prior to doing the things we do. Thinking of what will be the outcome of my actions if I do this thing. And came to mind a story, and this is a true story. I guess I do a lot of stories, but it gets the lesson across a little easier, or it gets what I'm trying to convey over a little easier. And this story is about a coworker of mine. Years ago, I worked at a shipping place. Well, not really shipping. I was a shipper. I did logistics. And it was roofing equipment that I was in charge of. Me and many other coworkers. Well, on this particular shift, there was a gentleman named Steven. Nice guy. Big guy. Steven must have been about a good 6'4", close to 260. Big man. And he was likable enough, all things considered. But he had a really interesting philosophy about things. His philosophy was, it was what it was, and it's no big deal. So we had a triple osmosis system for water in our office, which is amazing. So the water was always really, really clean. But now understand, to run the triple osmosis, it took a little time because it had to go through all these filters. When the water came out, very pure water. Anyway, Stephen did not like waiting for the system. So he would go literally into the bathroom, turn on the faucet, fill up the water container, or in our case, it would be the coffee pot, because we used to use the water to make coffee, and fill up the coffee maker and make coffee. And one day I come and I'm like, this coffee tastes off. What's wrong with this coffee? I said, what kind of water did you use? I said, did we need to change the filter in the osmosis system? What's up? And he goes, I just used the water in the bathroom. I said, what? That's nasty. He goes, water's water. And that was his attitude. Water's water. So, of course, I made a mental note whenever Stephen made coffee, I didn't drink it. Neither did anybody else really either, when they found out that was where he was getting the water from. And, we would go out to lunch, and sometimes we would get takeout. Well, there was this really nice family-owned Indian restaurant near our office complex. They had the best food, homemade, natural, best ingredients, healthy as all can be. So that's where I would eat my lunch or order my lunch. So I would order my lunch, and I would get the orders of my coworkers, and I would ask Stephen, hey Stephen, we're going to go to, he knew the restaurant. He goes, it costs too much to go to that restaurant. I'm like, yeah, it's a little pricey, but the food, you get nice sized portions, and the food is really healthy. It's good for you. And he goes, "Yeah, I got a coupon from McDonald's." I'm like, "Oh my God, you're gonna go to McDonald's?" And he goes, "Hey, food's food. Give me a break." And I realized, I thought to myself, I'm being too judgy. You know, did I agree with the philosophy that food was food? No, because in my opinion, if it takes 5 years and a hamburger's in your pocket and it doesn't decompose, mold, or rot, or do anything, and it's the same way it is when it was in your pocket 5 years earlier, that is not food, in my opinion. But I kept my opinion to myself when it came to Stephen. Anyway, we all just adopted a philosophy. Stephen did what Stephen, and we did what we did, and it was fine. It worked out great. We coexisted in our work environment really rather happily. Anyway, I left that particular job and came home and, you know, semi retired. Anyway, I ran into Stephen probably about 5 years later, and he was bald, and he must have, I mean, he lost a significant amount of weight. And I saw his wife and his teenage daughter, and I, I said, hey, we ought to reconnect. I was really worried about him. His face was sunken, and anyway, he's like, yeah, right now I'm not feeling so, I'm a little weak, I'm gonna go home. And I gave him my number, he gave me his, and we text, and I decided, because, he really didn't look like he was up to it, that I would go to his home and, take a little something, something for him and his family. And that's what I did. When I got there, I noticed that Stephen was sitting up in a lazy boy, propped up with a lot of pillows. I had a blanket over him, and we're talking about, it was not that cold yet. We're talking spring weather, so probably it was like March or April. So it wasn't really cold enough for a blanket. And Stephen is younger than me, so I could not understand why I needed a blanket. I did not say anything. I observed all of this. And his wife left to get us something to drink. And then he said, he told me the story. He's like, I got brain cancer. And that broke my heart. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to die probably. I really am. I know I am. And I'm feeling bad. And I told him, I'm really sorry to hear that. And he goes, I don't mind it being me, but I mind that it's affecting my family. My wife had to take on another job, and my daughter is not doing any extracurricular activities outside of school because she's always here to take care of me. And half the time I don't feel like eating, I can't sleep, I can't, the pain is great. He described everything that he was going through. And then he said something, even though it was interesting that he wasn't upset about himself, he was upset about what it was putting his family through. But then he said, I talked to the doctor, and he, was looking at my diet and everything. He goes, I should have just eaten better. If I just done some things that, not much, just eating a lot better and taking better care of myself, this never would have happened. And what that got me thinking about was, Stephen really wasn't concerned about how it affected him. He was really more concerned about how it affected those around him. And how that brings me back to mindfulness is to remind everyone and myself, mindfulness, what we eat, how we care for ourselves, how we take care of ourselves, it doesn't just affect us. It affects everyone around us. Because if I get sick, my family's going to have to step in and take care of me. Now, if I decide to eat well, exercise, drink good water, be mindful of my activities, that is one less worry for those around me. My family and my friends do not have to worry as much because I'm being mindful of my actions. Therefore, they can live a healthier life. They don't have to worry. They don't have to concern. They don't have to bother with that part of my existence. They can just enjoy being with me. And that's great. So, what I'm trying to say is this: mindfulness is not just about how it affects you and how you touch the environment. Mindfulness is also about how you affect others. So, when you're thinking about how you should eat or what you should drink or the actions you do, don't be so dismissive to thinking that it doesn't affect your fellow man. It does affect your fellow man. And even not even just your family. Think about volunteers or people who donate or others who do this because people get sick or injured. It happens naturally. We know people will get sick and injured. But if you can prevent it, that's one less person who's going to have to worry about you and can worry about those who really, at the moment in the time, really might need that. What I'm trying to say is mindfulness affects us all because the one truly does affect the many. So be mindful of this. And on that note, let us go ahead and do our affirmation. Which, how does that tap into mindfulness? Realize that you are so powerful. You are so powerful that not only do you touch and affect the universe, you touch and affect all those around you. You touch and affect all those around you. That's a very powerful, powerful statement. And it's a powerful responsibility. So you should be the best you can be, and you are and can be. But accept these gifts. Accept these gifts. You are great. You are powerful and you are loved. You're beautiful. You're handsome. You are beautiful. You are handsome. You are powerful. And you are loved. Let us go ahead and say the universal word, the intoning word that encompasses all the sounds of the universe. Om. 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 I am powerful. I am powerful. I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am great. I am great. I am great. I am powerful. I am powerful. I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am great. I am great. I am great. Let us intone the word, the sound of all the universe. Om. 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 All you great, powerful, and beautiful and handsome people out there, remember, when being mindful of ourselves, we are also considering and thinking about the welfare of others. Blessed be.